Welcome back everyone to the Hello World guys. This is another episode of the C++ for Beginner series, and in this video we are going to learn how to kind of store our file data in binary format. Because the idea is that currently we have got this file which is currently displayed as normal text that you can type, and anybody can actually tamper with this file and change it. But we want to create a way where everything is stored in a binary format, which is not only secure, but it is also much easier to much faster to read, and you don't have to write these lines and stuff that we did in the previous video. You won't have to do that, which will make everything a lot more easier. So we are going to do that in this video. So in order to read a file in binary mode, I am going to actually go ahead and kind of remove everything that we have got in this file completely, so that it contains nothing, and save it. And I'm going to go under console application here, and for here, in order to read a binary file, you need to specify the mode of reading. Now by default the Fstream has got a mode in which we are reading and writing, but since we are changing the mode, we will need to kind of specify both. So you say ios colon, which is obviously a namespace, and then you go ahead and say in, because we want to take input, and this, and then you need to put this kind of line here to add another one, because these are flags, and in order to put like flags together, you do this. So out, these were default, but since we are changing, we need to add them again, because we are changing the thing. And then we need to go ahead and say ios colon binary, because we are reading in binary mode. Now that is awesome. So now what should happen is that we can actually now do everything inside of binary mode. Now in order to read in binary mode, we obviously need to write first in binary mode, which is not something we are doing here. So in order to do that, we need to go and say something like fs.write. Now if I do that, you can see it requires a const character and this stuff and a bunch of different weird kind of stuff. But the idea with this is that you need to kind of specify it with basically you need to specify it with what value you want to put, and then how much bytes that value is going to take up, because now we are working with binaries, we are not working with that you can do it easily. So you need to kind of specify that separately. So yeah, how are we supposed to go about that? Now doing that is actually rather simple. So first of all, we have got to do we've got to like put two values here. So first thing we want to put is, if I press Ctrl Z for a little while, I mean, not that much, yeah. So if you can see that we had, first of all, we were putting the I here, which was the number, and then we were putting the grade. So our I is an integer. We want to first put the integer, and then we need to put the grade, which is a character. In order to put that, we need to understand how sizing works. So the idea is that everything in computer is you should already know sized in bytes. So we have got 8 bits form a byte, which means that it's a number that can store a value from 0 to 255 in a byte. And an integer is essentially made up of 4 bytes, and it got a much larger range. So an integer is a 4 byte number. Now when you're putting in binary, you are dealing with bytes basically, so you need to tell him how many bytes you want to put. But the size of integer actually might vary in some rare conditions. So in order to do that, what we do is we go ahead and say fs.write first of all, and then in here we need to put something special. Now since you are giving it a value in which it needs to write, you cannot just say I, because when you say I, it basically copies the value of I and puts that in there. But we'll come to this in a second. So first we want to put our value of I in here, and then we want to in here we want to tell it how much size we want. For that, to find the size in bytes, there is an operator in C++ called sizeof, and then you put, like, you use it like a function, and then you can say here int, which means integer, and it will give you the size of an integer in C++. Now this is actually giving us an error. The reason it's giving us an error is because what this is, it's actually not the right thing, because this is because we need to provide you can see it needs us to provide a reference. In order to do that, you need to basically put the and sign. Now we have not discussed references or pointers in this series, so just remember that you need to put a and sign and a character and a star after that, and this star is known as pointer. So you need to say character pointer here. So let's try to review. So we are using this and to provide a reference, and you don't know if that means, then don't worry, we will discuss pointers and references in the next video. So all you need to remember, and by the way, when you put a bracket and then inside of the bracket you need to put a particular type, then it basically is a cast, which means it converts the type. So it converts this integer to a character using some special mechanism inside of it. And then we need this start sign, means this is a pointer, which is what this value function needs. And if you don't know what that means, we'll discuss that in the next video. Remember that you need to put it this way. So this will basically write the integer as we want, and we are going to actually copy this and paste it here. Now we want to put the grade. Now our grade is actually just a character already, so we can remove this and you can just say grade like that and it should work. But since our grade is already a character and a character is always 1 byte, you can just say 1 here instead of actually putting the size of thing completely, which is pretty awesome. Now obviously since we are writing, we need to also read in here inside of like this. So we have currently got a this system working, so we are got our writing working, but we need to kind of rebuild our whole system for outputting the numbers, because currently none of that will work. So that what we will do in the next video, and in the video after that we'll learn about pointers. So make sure to stay tuned for those, and I will see you in the next video, and make sure to like and subscribe as well, and bye.